Hello everybody, this is Scott, and I'm going to go over the Speech 3 assignment, the persuasive speech. I'll be looking at the documents that I handed out yesterday in class and explaining some of the finer points, things that you need to be aware of. So if you see on your screen, it's the D2L homepage for our course. First thing I'm going to do is open up this document. So this is the assignment that you have coming up. The first thing I want to show you here is you've got 4 to 6 minutes on this one. So a minimum of 4, a maximum of 6. This particular speech is worth 75 points. And then as I said in class, the outline is required, just as it was with informational speech. And you need to have a minimum of 5 sources listed. Between now and the time these speeches are given, we will go over more in depth about the sources and what we're looking for sources for persuasive speech. Here's the other part that is different for this one. PowerPoint or Prezi is required as a visual aid. And next week, Wednesday, we will have a class on visual aids, and we'll have a short training session from Andrew and Vince about creating PowerPoints. And then there will be some in-class time that we can work on that. I believe Friday is listed as a speech workshop day. So the persuasive speech, if possible, should follow on the same information that you've used, or the same topic or criteria that you've used for your first 2 speeches, your community speech and your informational speech. I know some of you do not have topics that will lend themselves to a persuasive speech, so you may change. The only issue then is you have to start over again. So if you are using the same topic as your informational speech, you already have some basic framework to your speech and some sources and some research that you've done. Finding a whole new topic is completely acceptable. A little more in-depth research here. There was in that library guide that Lisa created. If you go to the library page and you look under library guides, you look for Speech 102 Zomer, Section 6 Zomer, you will find there's a place in there where it gives persuasive points or talking points, things about particular topics. This can either give you a specific piece of information you might need for your speech, or it'll give you an idea how to craft a persuasive statement around your topic. We have plenty of time between now and the day these speeches are given. I can answer any questions. We can work together in class to craft these speeches in the best way possible. So the problem, cause, solution outline. So right here it says, once you've informed us about the topic, then you will show us how to solve that problem. Your solution will be the best one that solves the problem, and you describe in the problem section, and also one that the people in the audience can play a role in implementing. So based on that, this next section here that's underlined is you may create an ideal audience for this speech. And what I mean, I'll take the example of, we've got Brianna and Julia who have been speaking about Greeks and Greek society. So persuasive speech perhaps would be the persuading a group of young college women to join a sorority or understand and accept the benefits that come along with being part of the Greek society. So the ideal audience for their speech would be a group of underclassmen or freshmen or incoming first-year students. So they, in that situation, they could create that ideal audience. Our classroom is not an ideal audience for a persuasive speech about joining a sorority, but it could be an ideal audience for a bigger picture of joining a Greek society as a whole. That would then appeal to both the men and women in the class. So that's just an example of how you would create an ideal audience. Let's see. So down here, the second part of this particular assignment is the peer critique, and I touched on this in class. So you will watch a specific person give their speech, give their persuasive speech. We'll figure out who's going to critique whom here. And when that person gives their speech, of course, you have to be there. You're going to follow this guideline right here. and this will inform your critique. This is the scoring for it. And also, like I said in class, you will video this particular person that you're critiquing so that you have the video of their speech available when you're writing your critique. Here's the finished product. 1.5 to 2 pages, double spaced, Times New Roman 12-point font, using standard paper formatting. That is all I want to say about that. This is the evaluation of your speech. There are some differences here at the beginning. Listener relevance, speaker credibility. Persuasion is based, if you remember, about the three areas: ethos, pathos, and logos. That was created by Aristotle and the Greeks. And so we will look at it, emphasize the ethos, the pathos, and the logos. And so the listener relevance, speaker credibility is that ethical or that ethos part. Here's the ethos, pathos, and logos. We need to have that come out in the body of your speech, how you are using those different types of persuasion. Down here in the conclusion, we have a clincher. A clincher, you remember, a persuasive speech is basically just trying to sell something. So if you remember, if you think about sales pitches that give that final sentence, or the sentence that says, "This is what I'm doing. Are you willing to do the same? Are you willing to take this action that I've stated today?" It leaves the audience with a next step, which is a good clincher. Sources, you're going to be graded on your sources this time, and then on your outline as well, either how effective your outline was in what you turned in. And let's go. So here's the outline that I handed out. Again, a little bit different. This correlates real well with the evaluation that I just showed you. This looks pretty much the same as it did for the informational speech. There are some changes here in the top. But the format of the outline, as I've stated before, is the problem, cause, solution. So you state the problem. The problem is there's not enough recognition of the benefits of Greek society, and at the height of the greatest amount of students enrolled in Greek societies nationwide, we have the greatest retention rates, or the highest graduation rates for these universities. So that's a problem, and the causes could be decline in Greek society, in the university Greek societies, students moving off campus, all sorts of other things. And then the solution could be reintegrating Greek life into the campus proper, a greater national awareness campaign of the benefits of Greek society. That's just an example, again, using Brianna and Julia's topics that they've been using. And then your sources, as I said, we will cover this in class. What I would like to see for a source or a reference list this time around, it needs to be more substantial than before, but we will get to that in our speech workshop days. That is what, and then here's the, if you remember, I showed you we did the exercise in class about my outline about the Lakota Indians, my informational speech, and how you had to arrange it so that it was in proper order of the outline format. Here is the same topic, but I have changed it to reflect the persuasive style of the speech and give a listener relevancy, my credibility, and then I have the problem, causes, and a solution, and then a conclusion, and then a clincher on this that leaves the audience thinking about the particular subject. So that is the assignment. That is Speech 3, Persuasive Speech Assignment. Those speeches will be given starting the 17th, Friday the 17th of October, and on Monday and Wednesday the next week. Between now and then, we are going to cover Chapter 11, Persuasion, on Monday, Visual Aids, Chapter 9 on next Wednesday the 8th. Next Friday the 10th is a speech workshop. And then the 13th is we will have the drafts of the outlines and the sources due. So remember, on the 13th, Monday the 13th, your draft outline and a draft of your sources on that outline will be due, just like this last speech. And we have one more workshop day before the speeches are given. So we have plenty of time to work collectively and individually to help each other out on these speeches. Thanks for listening. This was your online portion of the class for Friday.